Welcome to the 1997 Toyota Century V12, a Japanese-only ultra-luxury sedan and the only Japanese production car ever with a V12 engine. The owner, Lin, imported this with just under 28,000 kilometers, which equates to something like 15,000 miles, and this thing is absolutely pristine. I cannot believe this is nearly a 30-year-old car. Ever since its inception with the first generation back in the 60s, this was meant to be Japan's answer to the upper-class, ultra-luxury sedan formula. This was meant to compete with the Rolls-Royces and Bentleys of the world, although, in Toyota's own words, this is a much more kind of subdued, low-key interpretation. Absolutely love the Phoenix badges all over the car, inside and out. It's a very large car, 4,500 pounds, long wheelbase. Of course, this is meant primarily for the rear seat occupants. Typically, you would hire someone to drive you around in your Toyota Century. It has the 5-liter naturally aspirated 1GZFE V12, and this was never used in any other car. It was rated at 276 horsepower, 355 pound-feet of torque because of the gentleman's agreement at the time that limited horsepower to 280 PS. But export models were marketed as 295 horsepower. This has a 4-speed automatic transmission, air suspension. Original MSRP of this car in Japanese yen back in 97 equated to about 100,000 US dollars, which in today's money is closer to 150,000. And this car recently became legal to import to the US based on the 25-year import rule. This generation, which is the G50, was produced between 1997 and 2017 with a total production number of less than 10,000. You can find higher mileage examples of these in the US for about $15,000 to $20,000, but those have usually over 150,000 kilometers. This has so many cool features: a microphone, a tape recorder, a 6-disc CD changer, all wrapped in their factory original plastic when Lin picked up this car. It has the optional wool interior. I absolutely love these seats. It's like sitting on a couch. And we have some goodies for the backseat passengers, including a TV and a giant array of buttons that lets you control so many things, including the front seats. You can push it forward to make some leg room. Super quiet startup. You barely hear this V12 at all. I love the 90s style gauges. The dash is digital, so your speedo and your tach, you get a digital readout. We get a calendar, because obviously you're an important Japanese executive. You need to manage your schedule very tightly. Make it to that next business meeting on time. Now, we're on a canyon road. Not this car's forte by any means at 4,500 pounds, but actually this road does a good job at showing just how well tuned this car's overall driving dynamics are. Very slow steering ratio, very boat-like behaviors from the chassis, lots of body roll, but that's exactly what you want in an ultra luxury sedan. Now, the most shocking part of this car when you drive it is just how quiet it is. Never mind the V12 being inaudible at low RPM, but even when you get up to speed, 60, 70 miles an hour, there's virtually no wind noise or tire noise or any noise. In terms of refinement, this honestly competes with some of the best modern luxury sedans I've experienced, including the prior generation Mercedes S-Class. If anything, this might actually feel more refined, more quiet. It has smaller wheels, larger sidewalls to the tires. It soaks up the bumps incredibly well. All the inputs feel very natural. The steering ratio is slow, but it's actually not as vague as the Lexus LS, I think the 2002 model year that I drove a while back, which technically is newer than this by 5 years. The brake pedal feels very natural, easy to modulate. It's not super grabby like a lot of modern luxury cars that are also pseudo performance cars. But let's push the go pedal all the way down and see what this V12 feels like. Very slow 4-speed slush box, but even at full throttle you barely hear this V12. It doesn't really sound like much of anything. The fact that it is a V12, I mean, I wouldn't really be able to notice if I didn't already know what I was driving. That's how quiet it is. But the benefit of the V12, obviously, is the torque. You want that effortless acceleration. It's not going to knock your socks off, but this type of luxury sedan deserves a smooth, refined, and torquey engine that just makes passing plebeians on the freeway a non-issue. Double wishbone suspension at all four corners. Through these corners, you do feel the roll, and when you get on the brakes, you do feel a bit of dive, and when you accelerate, it squats. But that's part of the reason why this rides the way it does. Air suspension, thankfully it still works here. I just feel like I'm sitting on a cloud, just floating through this canyon road. This is by far the quietest and most refined car I have driven on this road. The Lexus LS and GS actually do not even come close. There's just a level of attention to detail, I would say, that I can feel shining through. It feels truly like a flagship product. AC blows nice and cold, very simple to use, controls on the dash, has that feeling of opulence but simplicity at the same time. It's not over-designed. Even though it has so many creature comforts, it's still straightforward to use. That's the beautiful thing. You can just hop into it like any other Toyota. It's such a beautiful thing. But let's see if we can find a stretch of road at the bottom of this hill for us to open up this V12 one more time. And honestly, knowing how reliable Toyotas are, even picking up a higher mileage one for, let's say, $20,000 seems like a bargain. These were over $100,000 back in '97, and even today they ride like a $200,000 luxury sedan. Why wouldn't you buy one of these as a daily driver and just have the coolest car on the road for less than the price of a brand new base Camry? All right, let's see about this V12 one more time. I still barely hear it, even though there's virtually no wind noise. I'm so isolated in this cabin, I can barely hear the engine. I wish it allowed a little bit more of that tone to permeate into the cabin. Now, if I had more time today, I would actually request the owner, Lynn, to drive me with me in the back. That would be the true review of what this car is meant for. But unfortunately, we are out of time. Got some more cars to review today. But what an absolutely incredible and special experience. One of the coolest cars I think I have ever driven. All right, guys, let me know what you think about the G50 generation Toyota Century. Is this an absolute bargain of an old school 90s Japanese executive sedan? Or are you better off buying maybe an old Rolls Royce or a Bentley? I just can't think of a better value than this if you want pure luxury with the old school charm. So big shout out to Lynn once more. Let me know what you think about the Century V12 down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.